Hello and welcome back to another episode of You Suck at AI. Today we have a special guest, my good friend, Chris.
Right, thanks, Philip. So today's video, we're going to talk about meeting notes. They are full of action items, product feedback, case studies, things we want to tell to our team, to-do items, things that team members need to do. There's just so much and they're so long, and we have these note takers in our call these days. But what we want to do is we want to extract the essence from them. We want to send this to our team members on Slack, and we want to then show them how to have action items and next steps from there. Okay, so I'm going to start by showing you the diagram. We are going to finish a Fathom call. Then we're going to send it to Zapier. We're then going to send it to a GPT, although I'll show you what it's like if we don't do this step. We're then going to send that to Slack, and then we are done. So to do all of this, we need a Zapier account, but we also need a Fathom account. So what I recommend is go to zapier.com, create an account, sign up to all the verification steps. And once you've done that, go sign into your Fathom and then click on your settings tab there, which should bring you to this /customize URL. If you scroll down a bit, here is a section called Zapier, and we need to connect that section. I've already done it, so it's just showing the tick mark, but that can be done over there. Once that is done, we can now go into Zapier and start by configuring the Zap. So our first step is a Fathom Zap step. So when you create a step in Zapier, you can click the plus and you can search for Fathom, and I've already done that. So when you create this, you'll also see there is a set of prompt instructions that you can follow there to get it connected initially. Once that's done, it's very straightforward. We will just catch the call transcripts, and what I want to show you here's a list of records from previous calls that I've finished. So if I click new, fetch records, then it's going to fetch the latest calls that I've finished with Fathom. So all your calls will show up here, and I recommend once you've connected Fathom to Zapier, just run a few calls so that you can actually get some data in here that we can work with. Okay, once that's done, I'm going to swap these two steps around. I'm going to move Fathom and Slack directly just to show you what it's like. Again, if you create a Slack account, you should already have a Slack account. Just sign it in using the prompts. And then we're going to choose for the action event, send channel message. So there's a lot of stuff you can do, but we're going to send the channel message. Once that's done, we go to the configure tab, and I'm going to send it in the meeting notes channel. You can choose the channel you want to send it to, and the message text will then be new transcript and then plain transcript, plain text. So it should be the second field from the top. Now, this is what Fathom currently sends you. It sends you an entire transcript of the whole call, which could be really long and very laborious and not useful to a team. So I'm going to show you what it looks like if you do that, but I'm also then going to show you how we can refine that and make it better. So let's test this step. Go into Slack. As you can see, meeting notes, here's the meeting note that was just posted by Zapier, and it's really long. It literally contains all the details of the call. Now our team is not going to be able to do something with this. So let me show you how we can now use a GPT model to make this much better. So back into our browser, we are going to go to platform.openai.com. This is basically the developer or more advanced side of OpenAI's platform. It's not entirely the same as the GPT or the normal ChatGPT side that you'll be used to. Once we've created an account and we have clicked on the settings icon, we've done our billing, I've loaded it with some credits so that this can actually work. I think the minimum is $5. So we will then go to the playground and we will click on assistants. We will create a new assistant. I've already created an assistant called Fathom Transcript to Markdown. You can call it whatever you want, and just take note of this name for later. My instructions. So here's my instructions for this assistant. Basically, everything that this assistant receives needs to be processed based on these instructions. So it's a way of getting GPT to constantly do the same thing. So I've given it some basic instructions. I've asked it to extract these 4 points, and I've asked it to write or give its output in a very specific format, which can work nicely for Slack. And you can obviously change this based on your use case, whether you're a developer, sales, marketing, a CEO. You might want product feedback, you might want FAQs, you might want sentiment. There's a bunch of things you can extract from the call, and you can explain that to the GPT here. It's also very easy to edit this later and get a different type of response. Once we set up the instructions, we click save. And just to show you, we've got a name, instructions, we select the model. You can also choose the model if you want to use some of the more modern models. And that's all you have to do. You can literally then also paste some meeting transcripts in here, click run, and see what it's going to do before we test with Zapier. But I know this works, so I'm not going to do that now. Okay, we're going to now swap these two steps around. So we have new transcript, conversation with assistant, and then Slack. Okay, so I'm going to choose the assistant, choose conversation with assistant. I'm going to connect, I've connected my account. You're going to just have to connect your account to Zapier. If you're doing this for the first time, we are then going to click configure. And what's going to be sent to this assistant. So here's the assistant we select, and we are sending the assistant the message transcript from Fathom. So to show you how we do that, we click the plus sign, we say Fathom, and we choose the second field. Okay, continue, test the step. So this will run for a while. This is now sending the transcript of that previous call to the assistant in the background, and it is receiving a response back, which you can see if you scroll down. Here were the instructions. Oops, scroll a jump there. Scroll down again. So the instructions we put in, and then the result we got back. Continue. Okay, Slack is already connected as per the previous step. What we're now going to do is we're going to change the message text to be conversation with assistant, and we want to get the full response. So it should be the first field that you get back. We click this step, and if we go into Slack, there we go. Beautiful Slack message, much more concise, and there's some actual action items in here. And again, this can be customized exactly the way you want it to be. This will be based on the instructions we gave the assistant earlier. Right, so that's the demo. There's a lot more stuff we can do and show. We can show advanced versions of this, but please let us know in the comments what you want to see next, whether this was helpful, if you want to see more of this type of stuff. And we look forward to having you in a future video again. Thanks for watching.